Hello, everybody. Today we are here with Aline Alonso and Leandro.
Van de Visser.
That's it. Yeah, he's from Holland, and Aline is from Brazil. And both are right now living in Amsterdam, and they dedicate their time to do workshops about yoga and acro-yoga. Apart from, well, Leandro is also a massage therapist and Aline is a designer. So they are going to tell us their experience and also more about these techniques, yoga, acro-yoga, etc. So if you are interested, follow us. Okay, Aline, Leandro, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
We can start maybe with Aline. You can tell us how was your experience in Brazil when you started with this Brazilian dance, capoeira, yes? And then from there you started discovering other techniques and then, well, after you were traveling to Europe, you can tell us your story.
Sure. So I think since I was a little girl, I've been trying to find where to put my energy in and how to express myself. So I found a little bit of this in capoeira or different types of dance. I've always been quite flexible, so I was playing circus at home. I remember my mom saying, okay, you're gonna break your back or something. And when I saw a friend of mine posting on Facebook a picture upside down, super twisted, and said, oh my God, I want to do that. Someone else is doing that as well. So then that's how I found about acro-yoga. At the time in Brazil, it was not that developed, the acro-yoga yet. So I remember us watching YouTube videos and trying to find out how to get from these movements to the other and how am I going to put my knee there and reach the other way. So it was a very good collective learning experience, a great way to meet new people and also learn together and solve these kind of puzzles. And from that I started learning more about yoga, or having more curiosity about yoga and about meditation and chakras and aura. So I did different workshops about that. And I decided to become a yoga teacher, mostly to understand the philosophy around it and to have that tool for self-knowledge and to develop myself better.
And then you traveled to Europe 4 years ago?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when I came to Germany to study, and when I arrived here, I didn't know the language, and I knew that I had with me acro-yoga, and maybe I could use it for making friends or something. And it worked really well because I remember the first jam. Jam is kind of an informal meeting that we do to train together. So it's not a class, but different people from different levels just gather either inside or if the weather is good in a park or something. So I was in this jam, and the first person I approached was a German guy that didn't speak any English. And we managed to do a lot of stuff together. So it's almost like acro-yoga being a different language, a universal language that you can train with communities and groups around the world without even speaking the same language. So that was really powerful for me. And the yoga always helped me to keep myself aligned and recharge. So in a very personal practice to understand myself better and seek for answers within myself.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting life. Okay, Leandro, can you tell us a bit of your story?
So I've been doing a lot of yoga, and acro-yoga I discovered maybe 6 years ago. I was here in Amsterdam in a yoga school, and after the class some people were showing some acro-yoga things and I liked it a lot. And then one girl, she told me, come, I will base you. So she lifted me up in the air. I was so impressed. And then some people invited me to come to the park to join a jam session. And then that summer I was in the park almost every day to learn about acro-yoga, which was really good for me. It was a really nice experience. And yeah, I think Aline already explained, but yoga is a very internal thing. So you really focus on your breath and alignment in your body. And you try to stay calm with the respiration. And acro-yoga, I really felt like you're connecting so much with the other person. And you get this extra awareness, let's say, of where the other person is. So I really liked it, and it felt really enriching. Yeah, I kind of recognize what she says, that sometimes you don't even need to speak the language. At one person that I felt was a really close friend, because we practice every day acro-yoga. And then later I found out that actually I don't know anything about her. I didn't even know what she did for a living. But if she was in a bad mood or a bit sad, I would always know in the practice. Like you become really sensitive of the energy of the person. And I think it's a really nice, really natural way to communicate without words, but you're really aware of where the other person is. Yeah.
Good. Also, well, you spent years in Peru with a shaman. That was also an amazing experience, I guess. And in India, if you can tell more about these experiences.
Yes. I lived in Peru in a really remote place in the jungle. It's like to travel to the nearest road, it's like 15 hours by boat. So it's really far away from everything. And yeah, I was working there in a national park, so I was spending lots of time just with animals. And when I was in the village, I would study with this old shaman who had a really nice way of working with plants, and he was very humble and just really beautiful person. And, he was quite well known, like he always had clients, but then he lived in a very simple house with leaves on top, and he never asked for anything. And so I thought he's very special man. I want to learn from him. And then later, when I came back from Peru, I started to study massage therapy. I guess a little bit inspired by the experience in Peru to see the monkeys always. So I wanted to stay in touch with this feeling of more exploring in the monkey way. And in Shiatsu, I found it's kind of a balance between a physical practice. It looks a bit like Thai massage sometimes, and at the same time, it's also energetic. So it connects a bit to the shamanic healing practice. And when I finished that, I went to India for a half year to do a yoga teacher training. And that was really brutal. It was really tough.
It was tough in what way? You have to put a lot of effort and stretching and this kind of thing. So
yeah, here in the West, yoga classes are always really calm, and some are a bit tougher than others. But often there's some music. The teacher says really kind things. In India, they make us do these really hard postures, and then you're all twisted and something's pressing in your midriff and you're trying to breathe, and then the teacher comes really close and he listens to you, and then the breathing is gone. He says, "What are you doing? This is not yoga." And I remember this incident when somebody in my class told the teacher after the class that he wanted to kill himself. And then the yoga teacher said, "Oh, this is really good news. I need you to be stressed. That means your body is changing." And what I understood from this approach is that he makes life so hard for you, this yoga teacher. But then all the time, however uncomfortable you are, you try to stay calm, you try to breathe, and he really challenges you. And then the rest of the day after the yoga class, whatever happens, you stay calm, you know? Even if really bad things happen, people shout at you, you're like, oh, this is no worse than my yoga class, you know, I can deal with it. So it's a kind of different approach. And it was sometimes quite tough, but quite painful, but I really believe in this type of teaching. Not that our acro-yoga class will be like that.
That's not the plan.
Okay, I will think twice before I go to India to
Oh, yes, that's that, yeah.
how is you are well in Peru, this the monkeys, etc. You said, or in India, and then you go back to Europe, back to the civilization. How is that feeling? How do you adapt again to that?
Yeah, well, it was really tough the first time. Of course, there are really good things here, but when I came back, you know, my boat was delayed and I had to wait many hours in the harbor. And this is all normal, you know. The whole village is waiting there for this cargo ship to appear, and there's no way of contacting them. And you get so used to this slow rhythm, and everybody's really nice, and everybody's willing to talk. And then when I arrived at the airport, we had to wait 5 minutes for some bus to pick us up from the plane, and people were getting nervous. And I really couldn't understand, like, what is wrong with these people? 5 minutes, you know? And then when I came to Amsterdam, my feeling was, why is everybody running around like mad? I really couldn't understand. And in the village where I lived in Peru, people were really poor. Like their floor in the house is just earth. Their roof is leaves, you know, and often it's leaking. But those people are smiling every day and making jokes. And then here we have so much, and somehow we're so stressed out about everything. And yeah, it's really strange to adjust. And in the beginning, I really couldn't understand how this works. But now I get stressed as well sometimes, like everybody else. So it's really interesting to see these things appear in your head, that you get into the same energy as the others, even though you decided in the jungle, like, yeah, this is all wildly stressed, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think in the end, you end up kind of in between two worlds. I think you as well, that you're not completely, maybe not completely European anymore, but also not completely South American. So you're kind of wandering in the middle.
And for you, Aline, how do you find also the differences between Brazil and now that you are living in Holland? What do you find?
The weather, where's the sun? No, I think especially talking about spirituality, it's a huge difference. Brazil have always been really attached to, I don't know, a small thing that you put on your necklace that brings you luck, or this thing that you do every day that it connects you with good spirits. It's more open to a mixture of religions and beliefs. And I think a part of the generation now, it's getting really closer to spirituality and trying to find answers and different approaches. So there's a lot of shamanism or different studies, or even yoga is quite popular. Different techniques of healing. So this is really kind of a revolution happening, at least I can see in Brazil. And in Germany or Netherlands, I didn't see that so much, this opening. Everything seems to be a bit more rational and somehow more stressed. And you don't rely on the universe or the nature for things to happen or to help you go through the difficulties and the challenges. So I do miss having this, different helps from, I don't know, the nature and people doing different practices together as a group to seek for answers together. It's a big difference, I feel.
So you are both trying now to bring part of that philosophy to the Western world, right? To be more not so stressed and to have more appreciate more life, you know, like the day by day, right? Smile more, like in Peru, like you said. So you are doing workshops of yoga and acro-yoga there in Amsterdam, and also traveling sometimes to festivals. For example, there is a festival in Murcia in Spain in January, Siva Yoga Festival, that you are going to take part in. And so can you explain a little of these workshops? What do you do exactly? How do you manage or organize these workshops?
Well, a lot will depend, of course, on the group we are going to work with. So, yeah, we can, of course, we start with the principles if it's a beginner group to show them how to support each other in poses, some trust exercises, so to get into the right mindset to do acro-yoga. And a really big thing in acro-yoga is our washing machines. So we would like to arrive with the group to do some washing machines, and it means you start in one pose together. So for instance, I don't know, she can do the airplane on my legs, and then you do a series of movements, and in the end, she again is in the airplane on my legs. And this we call, because you go in a circle, kind of, we call it a washing machine. And they're really fun, and you can combine them, and it makes acro-yoga so nice because it really looks like a flow and almost like a dance.
And Aline, also, what do you think about the workshops that you do? How is because you work in design, but at the same time you deliver these workshops. So how can you make this compatible? You find time for everything, right?
No, yeah, the workshops are more on the weekend, so going more to festivals. But yeah, it's really interesting that the type of design I work with is to design activities for people to either research about a topic together or to create solutions to an issue together. So the idea of building trust and a safe space for creativity and to share maybe some quite personal things with the group, the communication, the power balance, all of these things that come definitely are explored in acro-yoga. Also, I can bring to my daily job. So it's really nice to be able to combine. I wish I could combine more to really bring movement to these different communities and to combine more design with active movement. But the core pillars that we are going to teach on Murcia, and also we do in other festivals, are also present in my daily life. So I think it's something also that when you open the door, you cannot stop noticing that, like you are aware of how you communicate. So I think also are aspects that we can bring to every type of interaction with other people.
Well, thank you very much, Aline and Leandro, for taking the time to do this interview. Very happy to have you here and learn from you. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
All the best for you both, and see you soon.
See you soon.
See you soon.